28th, we're going to have Reverend Horton Heat, Voodoo Glow Skulls, and Big Sandy for $5.
At the observatory?
Yeah.
What day?
28th. Which, as of yesterday, I believe there's still tickets. So if you're into rockabilly and or ska, because Voodoo Glow Skulls. Even though Voodoo Glow Skulls, I'm not sure about them because I think their original vocalist bailed, and so they have somebody filling in for him, which is kind of weird. They played It's Not Dead Fest too. I went out there last year, and they played, and we didn't check out the set because it wasn't the dude. So I don't know. But Reverend Horton Heat, I mean, for $5, I've never seen him play, so that'd be really interesting. So you guys should all go check out that show if you can, if you're in the area.
$5, you can't pass it up,
right?
Yeah. $5 plus some fee for the tickets. It'll probably cost you $12 or $13 to go.
Not much.
Yeah.
And also, next up, we have the Vinyl Junkies Record Swap, which is at Casbah. It's on February 3rd, and it starts at 11 a.m. and goes for a couple hours. You can go down there and pick up some vintage vinyl, probably for a good price.
And they normally have that really cute dog that you can even say hi to.
They have 7 inches, cassettes. They have DJ sets playing that entire time. It's a pretty cool little event if you're in the area.
The guys that used to be there that had lots of good hip-hop and everything, I hadn't seen them the last few times I was down there.
They got savvy to you coming and cleaning them out, so they're like...
I got a lot of good records on them.
Fuck Chris.
Got some Run DMC, Cannibal Ox.
But yeah, that's the Vinyl Junkies Record Swap coming up on February 5th. And now we can move into our movie focus if you guys are ready.
Oh, yeah.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And now for the movie focus of the week.
Oh yeah. We're talking about Seven, as we said coming into this episode. It's rated R. It's from 1995, if you can believe it. We were what? I was 6. You would have been.
I was 5.
Yeah.
I was 15, guys. Fuck. I've seen these.
Dinosaur over here.
Did you text me about 7 in the fall? You texted me about something and said, hey, it's like the anniversary. Was it 7?
Yep.
And I gave you like a list. I said, oh my god, 95 was a great year for flicks.
Yep.
Do you remember any of the ones I told you?
Oh shit. No.
Okay, let me read you a list of the movies that came out in 1995,
shit.
alright? But besides 7. Braveheart, Apollo 13, Dead Presidents, Casino, 12 Monkeys, Heat, Get Shorty, Friday, one of my personal favorites, Strange Days.
Oh.
Those all came out in 95.
So 12 Monkeys. So Brad Pitt had 12 Monkeys out too?
Part of, he had to shoot all the scenes for 7 first, because he was going right into 12 Monkeys afterwards.
Oh, that's why they were on such a tight schedule.
Yeah.
Because he had to do...
He had to do 12 Monkeys.
Oh, okay. That's crazy. Where was I? Oh, so it's a thriller. I would think it runs at 2 hours and 8 minutes, and it's got an 80 on Rotten.
80?
Well, you think it's perfect?
It's pretty close.
Well, you know fucking Rotten Tomatoes. 80 is a fucking A to them.
Yeah.
It should be in the 90s, though.
I would agree, yeah. So, I'll let you do the synopsis, since this is your movie, man.
You're the ones who picked it. Was it your choice?
Yeah.
Because James hadn't seen it?
It was my choice.
There is a serial killer out there killing people according to the 7 deadly sins. That's your nutshell synopsis.
There's also two. There's also 2 detectives. One's retiring very soon. One's looking to get some experience under his belt. He's largely untested and kind of a hothead, which is Brad Pitt's character, Mills.
Seems like he's from a smaller town, coming to the big city to be a detective in the big city.
Yeah, and they decide to kind of take on this case head first, if you will, and wink, wink, nudge, nudge. What's in the box?
Do you have a sound effect for that?
No.
Oh, you blew it, dude. You need a rim shot. Sound effect.
I have this. Why you gotta call me out like that?
Hey, if that were me and I was going to make a quip like that, I'd have a sound effect ready to go to back it up.
Yeah. Touche, my friend. Touche. It's starring Brad Pitt, Morgan Freeman, Gwyneth Paltrow, and R. Lee Ermey. Let's open up for questions in the discussion portion of the show. So, James is the only one who hasn't seen this movie multiple times. So,
yes.
What did you think of it?
The ending was crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting that at all.
Spoilers will be ahead.
Yes.
For anybody who hasn't seen Seven, if you haven't seen it and you don't want this movie to be slightly ruined for you, go watch it first and then come back to us.
Because we will definitely talk about the ending.
Which is really the only way you can spoil this. And I would think that even if you know going into this movie, you know that's coming up, it doesn't really ruin. In my opinion, I think it would still be a pretty solid movie.
I agree with you on that, but that ending is really the gut punch that solidifies this as not only what I would say is a masterpiece, but it's one of the bleakest and darkest fucking studio movies I can think of ever.
Yeah, because this is from New Line, and it's pretty much an A-lister film. So this is fucking insane.
Like you might have seen this in some indie movie, some like underground small budget indie movie, but from a major studio with a big budget, as big as I don't know, $28-30 million budget was in the mid '90s. That's not something that you would have seen from a major studio. And I know that, we'll get into it later when we actually do talk about it, but I know that New Line was very reluctant to go ahead with that ending just because it was so dark.
They want to change it?
Oh yeah, they wanted to change it before, during, and after the film was completed.
Oh, that's crazy. I'm definitely gonna purchase this movie. It came out 95?
Yes.
Dang. I'm behind.
Yeah, that's what we were talking about when we first started up the movie, because we always watch screen whatever it is we're talking about first, so it's fresh in our minds before we do this for you guys. And I told him, like, how could you have not caught this on TV or like somewhere, you know what I mean? Because this is something I feel like a lot of people have seen because there's been so much time to see it somewhere, you know what I mean? I had this VHS. This is something I saw, much like you said, I can't believe your grandparents let you watch Pulp Fiction at that age. They also let me watch Seven.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Oh
I remember
my God.
watching it as soon as I didn't go, because they didn't let me go to the theater at that age with anybody or anything, so I would wait for things to come out on home video. But I remember specifically watching Seven when it came out on VHS.
Because I didn't see it initially when it came out. I missed it. But I remember my parents watching it and being like so fucking disturbed by it, and my dad telling me that's probably going to give me nightmares. And he was in his 40s at the time.
It's funny because it's not a traditional horror film, because they don't really show you much. The gore is pretty much like you're seeing the aftermath of a lot of the violence that goes on. There's not a lot of violence
of like the murders.
yeah, there's. That's what I think that makes this film so effective, is because it's all the aftermath, and you're creating those images in your head, of what probably went on.
Yeah.
You see like crime scene photos and stuff like that, so it really it has that like true crime vibe about it the whole way through, and I really dig that. I love movies like this, that push the boundaries of what we're allowed to see in mainstream film. And for the year that this came out, it was just like risky. I'm sure they had no idea that it was going to be because it made like triple its budget or something like that.
It was a big hit for New Line.
Yeah, I know. I think it made like over 200 million or something.
I don't know what it did worldwide. It made just over 100 US, but it was also like the 7th biggest movie of that year.
I know, yeah, and it was a hit with critics as well. I don't think anybody really disliked it, but it did have some flack when it was getting made. Like it got, I won't go into the names because I don't want to ruin some of my swan facts. But a lot of people shot this down because they thought it was too dark. But we'll get into that a little later. But so moving away from Seven for a few minutes, what are each of your favorite Fincher films?
So do you guys first.
Well,
So we were talking about earlier, Seven being. I thought that Seven was your favorite Fincher movie.
it is.
No, sorry, Zodiac. I thought Zodiac was
Okay.
your favorite. And then you were like, Seven is like right there.
They're like right there. It would be hard for me to say that Seven is my favorite because I think Zodiac is Fincher's masterpiece.
Mm-hmm.
But like I was telling Susie, my favorite Fincher movie is probably like Seven if I watch Seven, or Zodiac if I watch Zodiac. Like they're that close. One is fake and one is real. That's all One's a fake serial killer movie, one's a real serial killer movie. They're both terrifying and disturbing.
James?
Wait, he did Zodiac with Gyllenhaal?
Yep.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that either. Yeah, blowing my mind today. I think it'd probably be Gone Girl, just because that's my weekly recommendation, so it's more fresh, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And I really enjoyed that movie. Just the whole time you're kind of questioning if Ben Affleck really, his character actually did kill her, and then you find out that she's not really dead. Spoiler, sorry. Yeah, I'd say Gone Girl is probably my favorite Fincher film.
And Susie, obviously you said Fight Club.
Yeah. I think that Seven was the very first Fincher movie that I ever saw, but I think Fight Club just always had that bigger impact for me, based on like costume, architecture, like the contrast and everything. So the violence.
It also came out at kind of like the right time too, at the turn of the century, and kind of captured the zeitgeist a little bit better than what Seven did. That.
I think for me it would either be because much like her, Fight Club was a big part of my childhood, and it really resonated with me. It's something probably the Fincher movie that I've seen the most. I've seen it countless times. I don't even know how many times I've seen that movie over the years. But I also I really love Social Network.
Yeah.
It's he did that one as well.
That one too. Damn. Oh man.
Yeah, the writing and
that's another one that kind of captures like the world that we live in currently.
Mm-hmm. I just love the tone of the film, and just the way that he was, like the performances that he was able to squeeze out of the actors. Eisenberg is that's like one of his best performances. The dialogue in every scene is spot on, and Fincher's tones. He's a tone master. You know what I mean? I think that's why the people